The position of Mayor becomes vacant on the day and at the time of the statutory meeting, so CEO is nominated to chair the meeting. So thank you for joining us and welcome. As the meeting chair, I give my consent to the statutory meeting to be recorded and published online. The chair has the discretion and authority at any time to direct the termination or interruption of recording. Such direction will only be given in exceptional circumstances where deemed appropriate. That may include where the content of debate is considered misleading, defamatory or potentially inappropriate to be published. The public is able to view this recording via our website at pyrenees.vic.gov.au. Should technical issues prevent the continuation of the recording, the meeting will continue as long as a quorum can be maintained. Where a quorum cannot be maintained, the meeting will be adjourned until the issue is resolved or the meeting postponed to another time and date in accordance with Council's governance rules. I'd like to acknowledge the people past and present of the Wadawurrung, the Dja Dja Wurrung, the Eastern Maar, the Watchabollock, the Jardwa, the Jardwajali, the Werrigay and the Jabberwock nations whose land and waters the Pyrenees Shire operates on. We pay our respects to their ancestors and elders and recognise and respect their customs, stewardship and continuing connection to country. And we're now on apologies. I have apologies from Jeff Hayden, Angeline Jenkins, both from the Central Highlands Water, Diane Weston from the Landsborough Community Precinct, Graham Sandland, Merrin Peace from both at Skipton Health Service and Carolyn Welsh from GWM Water. Are there any other apologies, councillors?
Yes. John Coshan, Waterloo.
John Coshan, thank you. With that, I'll move now to item 5 on the agenda, which is the Mayor's report, and I'll invite past Mayor, Councillor Keogh, to provide a report on her term as Mayor.
Thank you, and it is such a pleasure to be able to present this annual report on behalf of us, the Pyrenees Shire Council, for 2024 to 25 this year. And this year has really been one of transition, resilience and achievement. It's been a big 12 months. Following a local government election, of course, which each of the 5 wards were contested, the new council was sworn in at this time last year on the 12th of November. Councillor Damien Ferrari and myself were returned, and Councillors Rebecca Wardlaw, Simon Toll and Megan Thielen were welcomed as new councillors, bringing a real sense of energy and commitment to strong local representation. And then I was elected as Mayor over the last 12 months. Our council plan for 2025 to 29 was prepared and adopted, setting the strategic direction for the new council's term and signalling renewal and change, placing the community at the centre of what we do and really growing our economy as priorities. Across the Shire, there have been significant issues impacting our communities. The rising cost of living we know is affecting the whole country, and this was reflected in financial pressures, not just on our residents, but also our local businesses. Climatic conditions and natural disaster recovery continue to place sustained pressure on our farmers and our communities. 12 of the Southwest Victorian councils, including us, were recognised by the Victorian Government as being in drought following a below average rainfall over 2 successive years. Council worked hard to support households, agribusiness and small enterprises through recovery programs and advocacy. Victorian Premier Jacinta Allen established the Drought Task Force to look at ways to support those impacted. But meanwhile, recovery from recent flood and fire events continued across our Shire. Resolution was achieved with the community impacted by the Bay Eden Rocky Road bushfire over hazardous tree removal and the development of a roadside rehabilitation plan. The restoration of Mount Cole and Mount Bulangar Parks assets has progressed, enabling these natural assets to again be open for visitors. The 2022 flood event recovery is still ongoing, and the Council remains committed to restoring our damaged roads, maximising funding through the Commonwealth Disaster Recovery funding arrangements, and also to minimise the financial impact on Council. This recovery program is expected to be completed by June next year. But despite the challenges, community life remains really strong across our Shire, with numerous community and civic events. This year we were proud to celebrate Australia Day here at this beautiful hub, making use of this newly constructed centre. Natty Yalix Allen Streeter was recognised as Citizen of the Year for his amazing voluntary work stretching back more than 40 years. CFA volunteer Rory Wakefield was recognised as our Young Citizen of the Year, and James Herbertson received the Leadership Award for his incredible services to harness racing, and the event of the year went to the Warburg Community Hub Committee for hosting the 2024 Australian Off-Road Championship. 10 new Australian citizens were also welcomed in the past 12 months in beautiful ceremonies attended by family, friends and councillors. Beaufort by Twilight, Seniors Festival, the Beaufort Agricultural Show were among other popular events. And meanwhile, long-standing events, including the Pyrenees Unearthed Wine and Food Festival, the Evoca Races, and the Lake Goldsmith Steam Rally, continue to attract visitors to the Shire. Maintenance and renewal of our 2,000 kilometres of roads and 156 bridges remains one of Council's major commitments. The reconstruction of a section of the Carnan Linton Road, Cameron's Lane and the Urumbean Raglan Road were among some of the major road renewal projects completed. However, with the increased mass of heavy transports along with ageing bridge structures remains a challenge, and so load limits were imposed on 25 bridges to protect these important structures until funding is obtained to strengthen and renew them, which is another priority we've had. We've continued to prioritise this bridge program, completing the McKinley Street Bridge in Landsborough and taking up a loan to secure further funding for more bridge renewal as part of the 25-26 budget. The Safer Local Roads program introduced this was a welcome initiative from the Victorian Government, and this will see funding towards safety treatments to make our rural roads safer. Upgrades to sport and recreational facilities was also a highlight, with the official opening of the Beaufort Goldfields Recreation Reserve new sports lighting. Planning for the future recreational needs also saw the completion of the Goldfields Master Plan and commencement of the Warborough Recreation Reserve Master Plan. The Evoca Recreation Reserve flood mitigation investigation was also undertaken to investigate the options to mitigate flooding impacts on these very valued recreation facilities. Council's Burke Street Key Worker Accommodation Project was given a boost with a $3.4 million being secured from the Victorian Regional Worker Accommodation Fund and a further $2 million from the Commonwealth Housing Support Fund. We're incredibly proud of this, and it's exciting to know that the slabs have actually been poured, I believe, even just recently. So it's really going ahead in leaps and bounds. A planning permit was issued for this first stage, and that was to enable more housing to better cater for Beaufort's growth. And in Evoca, Council secured a 7.5 hectares of vacant residential land to stimulate future housing development. And planning for this project will commence next year. The Emergency Services and Volunteers Fund, it's become a bit of a bad word to say, but this emerged as a highly contentious issue in our community. It was a huge place of advocacy for us this year and will continue into the following year. The ESVF replaced the Fire Services Property Levy from the 1st of July 2025. Our strong advocacy involved joining forces with Rural Councils Victoria and the Greater Ballarat Alliance of Councils to oppose the legislation and its great impact on our residents and farming enterprises. Our other priority issues included financial sustainability, drought support, telecommunications, and funding for water and other enabling infrastructure. The condition of state-managed roads, especially the Western Highway, has also been a focus of Council's advocacy and will be required ongoing. Prioritising renewable energy pathways has been part of the Victorian Government's priorities, and that's seen new policy emerge and creating great angst within our Pyrenees community. But despite Council's opposition to the project, the Victorian Planning Minister did issue approval for the Brewster Wind Farm, utilising new fast-track planning powers. Planning for the Western's Renewables Link project which seeks to build a 200 watt transmission line through the Shire, continues to agitate residents and farmers. The WRL environmental effects statement outcome is likely to be known in this coming year. The Victorian Transmission Plan identified Victoria's future renewable energy zones, and again, Council expressed its strong concerns about these zones identified in the Pyrenees Shire. The cumulative effect of this infrastructure in our landscapes has been at the forefront of Council's advocacy. So following strong community advocacy, Council agreed to take on the project management for the Old Beaufort Primary School Master Plan delivery to ensure that this heritage asset is restored to establish a new community hub on the site with Victorian Government funding support. The past year shows that while challenges remain, community spirit is strong, and our beautiful Shire's natural assets will be a draw card for people looking to live, work, visit and invest in Pyrenees Shire. The new council leadership is well placed to capitalise on these opportunities, continuing to provide value services and a strong local voice. In closing, we thank all of our hardworking council staff, our volunteers, emergency services, community groups and residents for their resilience and commitment to our towns and farming communities. The new council looks forward to working in partnerships with residents, businesses and regional partners towards our community's vision for inclusive, happy and healthy connected communities that create sustainable and welcoming townships, natural environments and rural areas. And with that, I'll hand back to Jim. Thank you very much.
I think that deserves a round of applause. Thank you, Councillor Keogh. We'll now move forward to the election of Mayor. I will invite from councillors the council a motion to determine if the term of the Mayor is to be for 1 or 2 years. Do I have a motion, councillors? Councillor Phelan?
I move that the term is for 1 year.
Do I have a seconder to that motion? Councillor Ferrari. Those in favour? Thank you. So the term of the new Mayor will be for 1 year. I'll now invite nominations for the position of Mayor. Do I have a nomination, councillors?
I nominate Councillor Damien Ferrari.
Thank you, Councillor Toll. Councillor Toll has nominated Councillor Ferrari. Councillor Ferrari, do you accept that nomination?
I do accept, yes.
And do I have any other nominations for the role of Mayor? There being no other nominations, I declare Councillor Ferrari as Mayor for the coming term. Congratulations, Councillor Ferrari. I'll now invite the immediate past Mayor, Councillor Keogh, to present Councillor Ferrari with the gavel. The gavel is a symbol of authority and the right to act officially in the capacity of a chair. It also represents the authority of the chair, thus the expression of passing the gavel signifies an orderly succession from one chair to another. And I'll now invite the Mayor to take the chair.
Thank you, Jim. My first thing I would like to say is to thank Tanya for her previous 12 months and the extremely hard work that she's and the hours that she's put in over that 12 months. She has worked really, really hard. She's been a very strong advocate and a strong presence around the state, not just the municipality. And it's put our Pyrenees Shire in very good stead. So, and she's represented us very, very strongly and just performed to a high standard. So it's big shoes to fill for the next 12 months. But I do thank you, Tanya, and I know the hours that you put in with everything else you have going on, and as the councillors, we all appreciate it immensely. So I really, really thank you very much for that. Just quickly, before I move on to What do I do that?
No, you can say.
Yeah. So I'd just like to thank everybody for coming along today to attend the Pyrenees Shire statutory meeting for 2025. I'd like to thank the councillors for having the confidence to elect me for the next 12 months. And I, commit that I will perform to my best, and I'll try and fill 10-year shoes, which will be a very big job. It's an honour to serve as a councillor. It's a bigger honour to serve as mayor, and I don't take that position lightly. It's a very, very big honour, and I'm not just representing Beaufort Ward now, representing the whole municipality. So I take that very, very seriously. I'd like to thank the councillors for their work for the previous 12 months. Three new councillors have come on board, and they've fitted into their roles very, very quickly and very well, and they perform their roles to a very high standard and very diligently. So, and the other thing I think I'm really pleased about is that we've very quickly become bonded. So it's I feel a very strong representation from the councillors that we have. So, and they represent their respective wards, but also the whole municipality. So I really thank them for their diligent work over the previous 12 months. I'd like to thank Jim and the staff as well, because I know how much hard work they've put in over the previous 12 months, and it's a continuing thing. It just doesn't stop. So there's a lot of work happened in the previous 12 months, and we get to see a lot of things that the community doesn't see because we have the meetings, a lot of them, and we just get to see things that the community doesn't see. So there is a lot of hard work going on. We are going to continue that, and we'll make some changes if necessary and where necessary. I look forward to working hard to bring about any changes necessary, and I want to continue on that really strong advocacy that Tanya's taken on over the last 12 months. Not just for the Beaufort Ward. I'm very cognizant that I now represent the whole municipality. We all do as councillors, but even so as more as mayor. So I know that in the country, I'm very familiar with that we seem to be a little bit forgotten out here in the bush by downtown. Well, I think we're going to have a very strong voice to let them know that we're still here and we're not going to go away. So I'll make sure that we're a strong voice for that. And last but not least, I'd like to thank Sarah, my partner, who provides that continual support for me to be able to perform the duties. And it is support, and each of the councillors would verify that. And certainly Tanya's husband would have put in a lot of support over the previous 12 months as mayor to assist Tanya to be mayor. So it's a fantastic effort. So thank you very much.
So now just move on to the role
We'll go to 7.1. Councillors have considered whether we appoint a deputy mayor, and if so, for what term. So I'll call for any motions in relation to the deputy mayor.
I move that we appoint a deputy mayor for 1 year.
Thank you, Councillor Field. We've got a seconder for that. Simon, thank you. All those in favour? Thank you. Can you now ask for what term that we'll have a motion for? What term? You mentioned 1 year. Sorry. Thank you. So I'll call for nominations for the position of deputy mayor.
I would like to nominate Councillor Rebecca Wardlaw, deputy mayor.
Thank you. Do you accept that nomination?
Yes, I accept that.
Is there any other nominations? All those in favour? Thank you. I now declare Councillor Rebecca Wardlaw the Deputy Mayor for the next 12 months. Congratulations, Rebecca. Probably just on that note before I finish, we haven't had a Deputy Mayor before, and we've had a lot of discussion about it, and there's a lot happening a lot going on in the next 12 months and probably further into that. So we just thought that Deputy Mayor position would help provide support to the mayor and the councillors and the council staff, not just for the administration stuff, but a lot of advocacy and it'll just provide support to those roles. So that's why we've chosen to do that. So yeah, look forward to working closer with Beck for the next 12 months. Number 8. Councillor Keogh, we'll get some presentation. Councillor Toll, would you like to do a presentation? So Councillor Keogh will be presented with the gift in recognition of the past year of service as Mayor.
Damien, you've got bloody big shoes to fill. She's done a great job, this little thing, with all she has on her plate, with the family and work and everything else. I don't know how you do it, really. Tanya's on the phone every morning, late at night, just touching base, and being new councillors, she's made the transition very, very easily. There has been a hell of a lot going on this year with all the bits and pieces and the ESPF, and myself and Tanya have got heavily involved in that. And I think the next coming 12 months, there'll be a lot more of it going on. And anyway, on behalf of us, Tanya.
Thank you very much. Thank you all. Thank you.
And here's one for Bernard. We're giving him a bottle of wine. We should be giving him a box of wine. Everything he's had to put up with. But thank you, Tanya. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
That concludes our formalities for the evening. So I'll close the statutory meeting at 6:22 p.m. Thank you. Everybody's welcome to some refreshments or a cup of tea and a chat. Thank you.